Greetings for the day. I am Shweta Rajoria, Assistant Professor, SIIT Bhopal in EC Department. Welcome to the course on wireless network. Today is our fifth lecture. In the previous lectures, we have seen GSM and CDMA technology that are the baseline technology for 2G communication system. Onward today's lecture, we are going to see the UTMS technology. It is the baseline technology for the third generation or 3G systems. First, we will start by seeing the overview. UTMS stands for the Universal Mobile Telecommunication System. It is a third generation mobile cellular system for network based on GSM standard. The baseline technology or the basis of the third generation depends upon the second generation. It is developed and maintained by a governing body named as 3GPP, Third Generation Partnership Project. This body was developed by ITU, International Telecommunication Union. UTMS used wideband code division multiple access technology for providing the air interface, that is the interface between the base station and the mobile communication system in the network structure that we have seen in 2G. Basically, the UTMS provides the very high spectral efficiency because it has a very large bandwidth due the desired for the multimedia communication, like high quality image and video processing, access to the information and services. Only because of providing the very high bandwidth and very high spectral efficiency, we are able to provide the video and image calling, that is video calling. Before 3G standards, we are not able to do video calling. We are able to send the message, text message, video message, MMS, all that. But the video calling, it started with third generation onwards. The technology described in UTMS is sometimes also referred to as freedom of mobile multimedia access, that is FOMA. Freedom of mobile multimedia access is basically another name, or we can say that the brand name for WCDMA given by Japanese telecommunication service provider, that is NTT Docomo. Unlike age, that is the standard for the 2.75G, and CDMA 2000, that is the standard for 2.2G, UTMS requires new base station and the new frequency allocation. That is, we need to update our base station and the frequency allocation plan for third generation systems. This is the brief history for UTMS. 3G efforts were initiated in the year of 1992 during the meeting of World Administrative Radio Conference. In that conference, they have recognized or identified 2 GHz band for 3G communication. The original target of 3G communication is basically on the air interface. In the year of 1998, ETSI adopted WCDMA standard for 3G communication. The first commercial network was launched by Japan and then by Europe. This is the complete timeline, or we can say the step-by-step development of UTMS technology of 3G standards. Initially, the 3GPP release 99 was given in the year of 2000. In that, they talked about the CDMA air interface. UTRAN, that is the 3GPP Release 4 provides a UTRAN, and it was given in the year of the 2001. After that, in the Release 5, they introduced HSDPA standard. All these standards are given by step. These are basically to improve the speed and spectral efficiency of the wireless communication system. In the Release 6, they introduced HSUPA and MPMS standard. Then again, in the Release 7, they introduced HSPA and voice over internet. That is, instead of using the circuit switching, they start using the packet switching. Here we will able to see how the speed are increasing in each and every release. Initially in 3PP99, we can see that 0.4 Mbps is given for both uplink and downlink. Onwards release 5, the uplink and the downlink, we have asynchronous uplink downlink speed. That is, for the downlink, they have given 14 Mbps, and for uplink, they have given 0.4 Mbps. Then in release 6, they have further increased the downlink speed to 14 Mbps and uplink speed to 5.7 Mbps. Similarly, in the release 7, they have increased the downlink speed to 28 Mbps and uplink speed to 11 Mbps. Similarly, in the release 8. From these releases, we can see that 3G mainly focuses on increasing the speed, that is the spectral efficiency of the wireless network. This is given the same thing that I have mentioned in the figure. Now we will see what is actually the WCDMA. WCDMA stands for Wideband CDMA. It is the baseline or the basic concept of UTMS technology. It is the air interface standard found in 3G telecommunication network. It supports the conventional cellular, voice, text, and MMS services, and along with that, it also provides a very high speed and allow mobile operators to deliver high bandwidth application, including streaming, that is your video calling, internet streaming, broadband internet access. All these features come with the WCDMA. Now we will see what is the basic difference between the CDMA and the WCDMA. In the CDMA, we use the bandwidth of a channel of 1.2 megahertz, whereas in the WCDMA, we use the wide channel of the 5 megahertz, due to which we get a very high spectral efficiency. And here we use direct sequence spread spectrum technology of CDMA, that is DSCDMA, for channel access method. These are the silent features of the WCDMA. Coexistence of 2G and 3G with inter-symbol handover for enhanced coverage. It provides the backward compatibility. It provides very high spectral efficiency, support asymmetric uplink and downlink transmission. For asymmetric apps such as web browsing, we know that during the web browsing, we need more downlink speed as compared to uplink speed. Coexistence of the FDD, that is frequency division duplexing, and the time division duplexing mode, that is similar to your GSM standard. These are the main differences between WCDMA standard and GSM. The carrier spacing is 5 megahertz in WCDMA and 200 kilohertz in GSM. The frequency reuse factor of WCDMA is 1, whereas the frequency reuse factor vary in GSM from 1 to 18. The frequency diversity. WCDMA basically use direct sequence, that is multi-part diversity with rec receiver, whereas GSM use frequency hopping technique. Packet data. The load-based packet scheduling is given in WCDMA, whereas the time slot-based scheduling with GPRS is given in GSM. Downlink transmit diversity is supported by WCDMA standard, whereas it is not supported by GSM. Now we will see the architecture of your UTMS. The basic concept, as I mentioned, the basic concept or the baseline concept of the architecture is similar to your GSM, or we can say it relate on the GSM technology. In the in the architecture of UTMS, we have the network element that are grouped into 3 categories. One is your UTMS equipment, that is user equipment. Another is UTMS terrestrial RAN, named as UTRAN, that handles your all radio air interface functionality. Another is your core network, that is responsible for switching or routing or data connection to your external network. Here, user equipment is similar to your mobile handset in GSM. UTMS is similar to your base station subsystem, that is BSS in GSM. Core network is similar to your NSS in GSM. This is your architectural diagram of UTMS. Here UE, it is similar to your mobile station. That is similar to the mobile station. It consists of the two part. One is your mobile equipment, that is the terminal used for radio communication and communicate over the air interface. Another is your SIM. Here SIM is named as UTMS SIM, UTMS subscriber identity module. It consists of your smart card that holds subscriber identity, store authentication algorithms, store authentication and encryption keys for security, subscription of information that needed for the terminal. This is all about your user equipment that is similar to your mobile station in GSM. Now we comes to your UTRAN. It consists of two parts, Node B and RTAN. It is similar to your BSS, base station subsystem. We can map BTS to your node B and BSC to your RNC. We will see the working of both the things. As I mentioned, UTMS terrestrial RAN consists of two parts. First is the node B. It is basically a base station. It converts the data flow between the wired and wireless interface, generally termed as base station. Another is radio network controller. It controls the radio resource in its domain, similar to your BSC in GSM. Here node B provides the interface, or we can say air interface, between your mobile station and RNC. That is similar to your BTS. It provides the air interface or connection between your mobile and BSC. Your next is BSC. BSC provides the connection between mobile station to your network switching subsystem. In the similar manner, RNC provides a connection to UE to the NSS, that is your this core network. Now we see each and every element of your core network. We can map core network to your NSS in GSM, that is network switching center. We can see all your HLR, VLR, AUC, that is home location register, VLR is visitor location register, and AUC is authentication center. All these things are similar to your GSM architecture in NSS subsystem. Here MSC is also similar to your GSM architecture. The new things here are, one is MGW, that stands for, one is your CG, GMSC. GMSC is basically, GMSC is the gateway to the MSC. GSN is your gateway to the GPRS support node. Because we know that this is your third generation architecture, we need to provide the gateway to the second generation technology also. All these things provide the gateway to your core network architecture. Now we will see the working of each and every element here. UTMS is the terrestrial radio access RAN, provides and manages air interface for overall UTMS network, which consists of two main components. One is your radio network controller, that is RNC. This element of radio network subsystem controls the node B that are connected to. RNC undertake the radio resource, manages some of the mobility functions. It also point at which data encryption decryption is performed to protect user data privacy. Then another component is node B. Node B is termed as base station transceiver station in GSM. It consists the transmitter and receiver to communicate with UE within a cell. In order to facilitate effective HO between the node B and the control of different RNC, the RNC communicate not only with the CL but also with the neighboring RNC. Then the core network. Core network provides central processing and management for the system as well as interface to the external network. That external network is the PSTN network, ISDN network, that is your previous landline network. These are the name of actually the previous landline network which provide the circuit switching. As we know that we use packet switching in the third generation system. UTMS-CN may be divided into two different parts. Circuit switch element, these elements are primarily based on GSM network entities and carry the data in the circuit switch manner that is dedicated channel for duration of the call. Second is the packet switch element. These network entities are designed to carry packet data. This enables much higher network usage as the capacity and can share the data is carried as packet which are routed according to their destination. Now we comes to, after seeing the architecture of UTMS, now we will see the bands of UTMS. UTMS used all the three bands of the GSM that we see in our previous slide, that is 800 megahertz, 1800 megahertz and 1900 megahertz. Besides that, one new band is also introduced for UTMS, that is for the 3G standards, that is 2100 megahertz. All these is about UTMS technology. Now in this section, we have seen that UTMS technology is the baseline technology of 3G standards. And in the UTMS technology, we mainly focus on increasing the speed, or we can say spectral efficiency of the wireless system so that we can provide the very large bandwidth, due to which we are able to do video calling along with your text messages, MMS and the voice call. This is all about UTMS. Thank you.